what did I do to cause all this in my life? I didn't do anything. Like, y'all see me wearing my natural hair every day. I don't do no fake nails, lashes, no designer clothes. I've been wearing the same clothes for like 10 years. They literally tried to rip me apart. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to come on here and give you guys an update. So yesterday marked 90 days since I've been living in the shelter. So today is 91 days. And I have some bad news. So a certain percentage of my income is going towards a mandatory savings account at the shelter, and I have to pay into this savings account because if I don't, then I can't stay there. So me paying them is a condition of me living there. This past paycheck, I just simply wasn't able to give them the full 50%, but I was able to take out several $100s in a money order, and I tried to give that to them, but surprisingly they didn't accept it, and they immediately issued me leave order or something. I don't even know what they call it, but it's basically a deadline where they're saying that I have to get out of that shelter. I know how to manage all of my money. It's just a simple fact that I'm not making enough money to cover 50% of my gross to their savings and to also cover my expenses at the same time. Like, that's just not realistic. I would need a second job in order to do that. And so I don't know, we gonna see what happens with that. My case manager scheduled an appointment for me to appeal this decision for them to kick me out of the shelter. So that's where I'm about to head to right now, to this appeal meeting, to see if I can explain to them, hey, I just wasn't able to afford it this time, but maybe I'll have all the rest of it next time, or maybe I'll get a job within the next 2 weeks. Another job, not to replace my full-time job. A lot of you have reached out with like job offers and things like that, and I really do appreciate it, especially those of you at my church. But I don't need to replace the full-time job that I have. It would be nice to have another consistent side gig. That would be cool, but I really am not gonna leave my full-time job. Like, it's paying well, it's just not enough to be. I keep saying it over and over again. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I'm on my way down there now. We're gonna see how this goes, and y'all are gonna find out what happens to me, whether I'll be getting kicked out of the shelter next week, and if I do, where am I gonna go? I don't know. I'm assuming that God has a plan, because I did everything that I was supposed to do. You know, this situation is completely out of my control. My life is obviously not my own, because what the heck, like, what did I do to cause all this in my life? I didn't do anything. Like, I moved to Houston. I had a job. I lost a job. I was forced into freelancing. Then I got sick and I couldn't freelance anymore. Then I became homeless. Like, at what point, what did I do? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so frustrated. But I don't know. Let's just see what the Lord does. This situation has made me so different. I feel like the old me would have had a complete meltdown, an anxiety attack, feeling suicidal as a result of me receiving a letter from the shelter saying that I have to leave. But the way I'm feeling right now, y'all, I don't want to say that I feel nonchalant, but I'm just not feeling fazed. Like, I care, but it's like I'm not worried. Like, I'm not anxious. I'm not afraid of what's next, because I know that God is orchestrating this whole entire thing. Like, there's too many coincidences for it to be a coincidence. So I'm really interested in seeing how he's going to turn this situation around. And if I do have to leave on the 24th, I'm interested in finding out where I'm going to go. Because, you know, with my money being all tied up in that shelter, I don't even get to have my money back for a week after I leave. So what am I going to do for that week that I don't have that money in my possession? I don't really know. So I've been sitting here thinking, dang, am I going to have to live in my car? Am I have to go and get a motel? I definitely do not want an apartment. We're just going to see, y'all. I'm really out here in the wilderness right now. I don't know how much longer I can wait, because my strength is, like, I just feel like my strength is running out. patience is wearing thin. You know, this is not an easy life to live, and I don't want to live it. I hate this situation every single day. I hate it. I just got back a little bit ago from this appeals meeting. When I tell y'all that was the most humiliating experience that I've ever faced in my life. First thing, I go up there and I'm waiting around in this waiting area while the staff that I'm supposed to be meeting with are inside of a room chit-chatting with each other, play hitting each other, and I'm still on the clock, y'all. Like, I'm clocked out for lunch, which I'm not getting paid for. So the longer I'm outside of my 1 hour lunch window, the less I'm getting paid, because I couldn't take paid time off for this meeting. So they sit in that room chit-chatting. Then finally they come outside and bring me into a room. The lady sits down, but she has her back turned towards me. She won't even look at me. And so I'm just looking at her like, seriously, like, you're not gonna say anything to me? You're just gonna have your back turned towards me and just ignore the fact that I'm sitting here? Like, when does this meeting start? Like, so then another woman walks in. I guess she's the manager over all of it. So finally, when she walks in, we start the process. So they sitting here telling me, oh, so we're gonna be ending your stay here because you failed to make the 50% of your gross payment into the savings account. And so they're steady grilling me with all these questions. Oh, what changed? What came out of your bank account? And I'm trying to explain to them, nothing different, nothing from the ordinary. Like y'all know, I recently got a new office space, but that's only a little bit more money than what I was paying for the initial one. So clearly not much has changed, but they don't believe me. So I give them a piece of paper with all of my expenses listed on it, and they're like, oh, well, this isn't important and that isn't important, and why you have a PO box, and why are you going to mortgage and credit counseling if you can't even afford to pay into the savings program? Just straight up attacking me. Like, yeah, I make $45,000 a year. There are people who make less money than that who are able to buy a house. So I know that I can buy a house, and I know that my financial house is in order. Like, I'm not just out here with all the latest streaming platforms. I don't have no Netflix, no Hulu, no Disney, no Showtime. I don't have none of that stuff. Y'all see me wearing my natural hair every day. I don't do no fake nails, lashes, no designer clothes. I've been wearing the same clothes for like 10 years. So it's like, I'm not spending my money on anything. I don't even go out. I don't even spend time with my friends. I don't drink. Like, I don't do nothing besides work and go lay my head down. So the fact that they was just sitting there attacking me and all this other stuff, y'all, I had to bite my tongue so much, because I'm being instructed to show them grace even when they're talking down at me. And y'all, I just want y'all to realize the stigmas that are associated with being homeless. When you are homeless, people will treat you like you have a mental health disorder or something. Like, you just cannot handle your life. The right lane to keep right. I have always had good control over my finances. I'm not homeless because I don't know how to manage my money. I'm homeless because I caught COVID. If I never would have caught COVID, I could have kept on freelancing, and I would not even be in that shelter right now. Like, I came out here with a job. Like, I didn't just come out here willy-nilly for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything has happened for a reason, but it wasn't because I don't know what to do with my money. I'm just young and stupid. And then she starts attacking me about my expenses, talking about, oh, why is your phone bill so high? Why is your car insurance so high? I don't know. Why don't you call State Farm and ask them yourself? Like, and she's talking about, oh, why can't you go get a different phone?
Use the left lane to keep left.
I'm locked into a contract with T-Mobile with this phone. I'm still making payments on it. So what do you mean I can't just go out and, like, y'all. Like, this experience was just, like, they literally tried to rip me apart. So then what I ended up having to do was open up my bank account on my phone and slide my phone across the table so that they can see every single transaction that I made this month, every bill that I paid for. And they're like, oh, but it's still not adding up. They scratching their heads. tapping on a calculator. Oh, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. You should still be able to afford it. I said, y'all are only looking at my expenses. What about my incidentals? What about the amount of gas that I'm spending going from my office space to the shelter every day, to church, you know what I'm saying, to videography gigs, okay? I'm not able to make it back here to eat lunch with y'all, so I have to buy my own lunch. You know what I'm saying? I still need toiletries, you know, soap, tampons, all that stuff. And she's like, oh, well, the shelter provides toiletries for free. I said, the stuff that y'all provide ain't for everybody's skin and hair and body and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, okay. And I'm just looking at her like you do, like...
In 2 miles, take exit 40 on the right onto Southwest Oak.
Y'all, like, they have the tendency to treat people like we are less than human. I never knew that homeless people were facing this much discrimination and stigma and all of this stuff. Like, I would have never known until I had to go through it myself. So after a good 20 minutes of them scrolling through my bank account over and over again, writing down numbers over and over again, I'm just looking at them cross-eyed like, how long are we gonna be doing this? I gotta get back to work. Like, I don't have time for this stupidness. So I finally say, I would really appreciate it if y'all would consider the fact that I got paid less this paycheck. Like, this was the least amount of money that I've ever received since working here. And they were like, oh, the pay period isn't shorter and your health benefits are only such and such dollars. And I said to them, look at the previous pay stub. Like, you'll see that there's like a $200 to $300 difference between what I received last paycheck and what I received this paycheck. How many hours I worked that paycheck versus how many hours I worked this paycheck. And I never missed a day of work. So, like, come on, y'all been running the numbers for all this time. Like, that's just it. Like, I'm not spending my money on anything. The proof is right in front of your face. And so finally they was like, oh, okay, well, we'll just take what you can give right now, but we still want a copy of your bank statement, and next time you have a shorter pay period, just let us know in advance. And I'm just looking at them like, are you serious? Like, we could have skipped this whole entire process if y'all would have just considered it from the jump. Oh, Bree's pay period was shorter this time. Let's just, you know, take what she can give. No, y'all wanted to go through this whole entire process of trying to kick me out the shelter and do this whole appeal thing. Like, this, wow. And they talking about, oh yeah, so our mandatory savings program is very strict, so we just have to follow the rules, and we've had these rules in place since before your time and all this dumb stuff. Shut up. Just shut up. Because knowing how I feel right now, I'll just leave this show. I'll kick myself out. But I'm trying not to do that, y'all. I'm trying to hang in there. And they're talking about, oh, I don't see how you're going to get a house anytime soon, so you might as well cut out the mortgage and credit counseling because you'll need a long time to save up money. No. I'll do what the Lord say. And if the Lord ain't requiring me to live in this shelter for 12 months to save up for a house, then that's not what I'm gonna do. Like, you're not, you don't get to dictate what happens in my life. Only God. So I can't deal with none of that naysay. Like, we ain't doing none of that. I don't even want to spend my birthday in this shelter, y'all. My birthday is in April. I don't want to be there when I turn 27. I don't, and God knows that. So we gonna see if he decides to work the miracle and help me get out of there before my 27th birthday, cool. But if not, then I understand. But I will only do what he say. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I will stay there for as long as he says stay there, and I will leave when he says leave. So I'm on my way to the trail right now because I just need to cool off. Like, I just got off of work and I don't feel like looking at these folks, being around them. I don't want to know. I just need time just to get my mind all the way back together, and nature helps me to feel closely connected to the Lord, because I need some interaction right now. And that's it. Like, I'm asking God, please help me to forgive these shelter staff for the way that they've been treating me, the way that they talk to me, even down to the way that they look at me with just like so much contempt in their facial expression. Like, I don't understand. What is it? What did I do to y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing to you to trigger you to act this way towards me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, I cannot wait to get out of the shelter. But that's it. The rant is over. I'm done. Yay, good job. I get to stay in the shelter. I get to have a roof over my head. But at the same time, I'm not really throwing the party about that because I don't want to be there. But I'm grateful. Just frustrated. So that's pretty much it, y'all. Just so y'all know, my website is up now, and I do blog as well, so feel free to check out my website. I would really appreciate y'all's support in that as I embark on my writing journey. I've always known that I was a writer since I was like a little kid. I just never put out anything because I always just felt nervous and afraid of people knowing my innermost thoughts. But it's time to put it out there. Make sure that y'all tap in with me again next week. I don't even know what next week's video is going to be about, but I'm pretty sure by this time I have already filmed something new, which y'all will see on the end screen. And I will see y'all next week. Peace. This is just gonna be it for right now. I'm not gonna settle here. I'm not gonna get too comfortable here. Transitioning from one shelter to another. I feel like I'm chronically homeless now, even though I'm pretty sure this doesn't fit the definition of chronically homeless. But the fact that I moved from one shelter to another makes me feel like, yo, this is a chronic problem.